Hey guys, I'm April from Giggle Glitter Graphics, and today I have a free pocket tag project for you. On one side, we have some newspaper headlines, and on the reverse, we're exploring the Bureau of Esoteric Affairs and the city they work in. This is a free project that went out to my email list today, but if you're just finding me and you'd like to join us, you can find a link in the description down below to sign up and get this project sent to you immediately. As a bonus, I'm also including a link to get my Cursed Objects Field Kit project, which went out to my subscribers a couple of weeks ago. So let's get started with this project. There are 3 pages, all of which I have printed on 110 pound 199 GSM cardstock. There is no backer paper today, so don't worry about printing anything on the reverse side of these. For supplies, you'll need scissors to cut everything out, a liquid glue with a fine point. I like Beacon Fabri-Tac, and an optional glue stick. I like Oohoo for my glue stick. And I have used vintage photo distress ink on the edges of everything. So I have all my pieces cut out already, and we're going to start with the body of the tag. So that is this piece here. And all we're going to do with this is fold it in half and match up those top tabs. And you'll also be able to match up these corners on the outside edge. Make sure everything is as square as possible, and then we're going to glue these back to back. And I'm just going to get a coating of glue on here, and then give that a press. And I like to use my bone folder to smooth that down. So now we have our base tag, front and back. And now we're going to attach, I have these 2 little pieces here. There we go, these little triangles. They're going to have just a slight tilt at the corners. These are going to go at the top of the tag as little reinforcements. I'm going to punch a hole in mine and put an eyelet through, and I wanted this to be a little stronger, but also it's a nice decorative element. So I'm just going to glue those on either side right at the top. Get a little glue on there. And center it up. And these are both identical, so it doesn't matter which side you put them on. There we go. Now we have something that looks like this. And let's work on the blue side of the tag first. So let's start by attaching these 3 little, they're pockets and slash bands. There are 3 of them. We've got the one with the keys on it, one with books, and one with this receipt. And we're going to start with the one with the keys. And this one is going to go at the very bottom. We're just going to center it up left to right, go almost to the very bottom of the tag. I like to leave a little space. I just think it looks nice. And you're going to use your liquid glue, and we're just going to make a thin line of glue on the left, right, and bottom of this to make a pocket. So as thin of a line as you can, right along those edges. And then I'm just going to pop that into place at the bottom. Next will be the book and then the receipt pockets, and these are going to go fairly close together. We're going to leave a small gap because we're going to want these to be able to tuck down inside. Now I'm going to attach these 2 as bands because the items in this pocket will kind of help keep them in place. And we want to be able to adjust things in the pockets nicely. So I'm just going to put some glue on the short ends. I have a little kitty cat hair in there. And then I'm going to put that in just a little above. And I have actually put my books on upside down. There is an up and a down to that if you look at it. All right, and we have our last one with the receipt on it. Same thing. I'm just going to glue those short ends. And put it slightly above my book tuck. Book band, book pocket. There we go. And these are just going to get filled with ephemera. So if you crafted my Cursed Antiquities kit, then this ephemera does feature events in the story. The story is told throughout those 14 craft projects. If you have not seen Cursed Antiquities, I'm going to pop up a little card right there so that you can go check that out. But we've got some newspaper headlines, and then reaching over here, there's a little piece of ephemera to go with each one. So we have the book cover to go with the novelist. There is the library book plate is going to go with Death at the Holloway Library, and Woman Attacked by Statue, and we've got our cat statue here. So once these pockets are dry, we'll be able to tuck this ephemera in. I'm going to go ahead and flip to the other side, and this is the agency side of the tag. So we've got this little panel with a key pattern on it, as well as this kind of funky panel. If you've cut this out by hand and you're having trouble getting nice cuts on these tabs, fold it in half first and then do those little cuts around the tab, and that'll give you a neater look on both sides. So we're going to fold this up first, and then we're going to fold this tab down, making sure that there's no buckling here. We want to make sure that this is nice and flat. Our tabs are nice and lined up down here, and then this will come over. I've also put a little distress ink in here because this is going to be a flip, and when it flips up, you might see a little bit of that. So that will hide that white paper. I am just going to get some glue on here and glue these back to back. And then grabbing my little key pattern piece, it doesn't matter which side, it doesn't matter which way this goes. You can just use one of the short sides, and that tab is going to glue underneath. This is going to hook over and become a little flip. So I'm just going to hook it over and glue the tab down. Flip that up and out of the way. And next we're going to add this little pocket. It has 3 tabs. We're going to fold those in, the small sides first, then the bottom. And that's going to go right here at the bottom of the key pattern panel. We'll have a pocket to hold our ephemera. So I'm going to glue those small ones first, the short ones, and then fold that bottom right up. If you hear a rattling sound in the background, I've had to distract my cat with a snack puzzle. He was just running around the room screaming. Hermes demands attention. All right, and we're going to just pop this pocket in right there so that we'll have this little flip here. And then over here, there's this little piece with the key on it. This is going to secure our tab. It's a little hook to kind of pop this down into. All we're going to do is glue along the bottom of this, not the upper portion of the tab. Just one line of glue across the bottom where that dark print is. I'm just going to run that right across there, like so. And then I'm going to bring this whole thing over, and this is also going to serve as a pocket. It's going to go right onto the tag. So I'm going to glue left, right, and bottom with that thin line of glue. There we go. And put that in place, making sure it's lined up really nicely. There should be just a tiny bit of space around it. So now we have a tag that looks like this, and there are some embellishments to go on here. We've got the agent's badge. That's going to go right on the front of the flip. I'll just pop that into place there. And now let's take a look at, there's a large tag. Every time I make something, I try to add a little information to the world I'm building. So today you're getting a little history about the Bureau of Esoteric Affairs. And I've also got a map of the city of Marrowhaven. If you're new here, I like to write stories and build little worlds to go with my junk journals and paper crafting kits. So if you want to see more about what I'm talking about, you can find a link for my latest story, Cursed Antiquities, in the description down below. So let's get this tag assembled. It is just going to fold in half, lining up the corners and the tab. And I'm just going to grab that glue and glue the backs together, like so. And I have ignored Mr. Hermes enough that he has now gone downstairs and is singing the song of his people throughout the living room. He is being a rascal today. So here we go. We've got our history tag. And then we've got our map. This map is going to fold in half. So I'll just give that a crease so it'll fit in the pocket here. And I'm going to put a little ink on the crease. I like that whenever you open it up and it's kind of grungy like that. So now we're ready to put everything in. Let me flip back to the back side and let's pop our ephemera in. And each of these does have a spot. We're going to start at the top. We've got the marble cat statue receipt, and we've got woman attacked by statue, and the little card that's going to pop in right here. And then the library books, we've got Death at the Holloway Library. I'm going to push that down in there. It should be fairly snug and hold everything in pretty well. And then we've got the Novelist Vanishes, and that's going to go in that bottom pocket, and everything should be in pretty good. And you can give things little cute angles if you want to add some flair, make it look a little more higgledy-piggledy, or you can leave it nice and neat. And for the other side, we've got our Proud History. That is going to slide right down in here. Make sure this is dry first, and if it is kind of tight, you can pop in there with your bone folder or the scissors closed, and then you can get this kind of slid down inside of that pocket. There we go. And then flipping this up, we have our map of Marrowhaven, our magic in the modern world, and then finally we have some labels here. You can pick one label to go here. I have a few options that go with our theme, as well as one that says October 2025. For the last couple of months, I've been sending these tags out exclusively to my email list, and I decided I wanted to make this one public so more people can enjoy it. So it's up to you if you want to start a collection. I'm going to add mine to my ring here in a minute, or if you just want to do one of these other labels. So I'm going to do the October 2025 because I am doing the ring. You can use these labels as embellishments somewhere else on the tag, so that's totally up to you. And I'm just going to put my October label here. And then this is going to flip down and pop right under there to keep this shut. So this is our finished tag. So if you already own and maybe have even completed Cursed Antiquities, then I have exciting news. I just finished the design work on the Umbral Society, which continues the story with Agent Hale and introduces a new agent, Rowan Kitteridge. The story in this kit picks up where Cursed Antiquities left off and follows the case to its final conclusion. Now this is another box kit, but the contents and the storytelling have a fun little twist, and I can't wait to tell you more about it. The Umbral Society is going to be available for sale in my Etsy shop on November 14th. I'm currently in the process of filming all of the tutorials for it, and I'm going to share a bigger sneak peek next Friday, November 7th. So if you want to make sure you don't miss that video, be sure to like, subscribe, and click the bell icon so that you will be notified when it's live. So I've got my tag added to my collection, and I will be doing another one of these for November and December for sure. If people enjoy it, I'll keep doing it into the next year. So thank you so much for crafting along with me, and I will see you in the next video.